We built this deck on stream yesterday. It's obviously an update to the Eyetwitch Crypt of Agadeem archetype that we've spent a long time on. This archetype is something I've liked a lot. The Reanimator version with Persist Archon, I think, is just kind of a good deck, one that I would recommend to you. It's both like I just love the Crypt of Agadeem mana engine with those like really fast starts. And since Marvel came out, I've been working on some different versions. Like, why I do think Persist version's totally fine. These two cards, Baron, Helmut, Zemo, and Klaw, Sonic Subjugator, these have kind of captured my imagination in the deck. We tried a couple different versions. We tried one that was still playing Archon Persist, and it felt like these 3 drops were a little bit odd on the mana curve. Where and they kind of, I think they offer you like a good late game, and it felt weird to also be playing the Archon stuff. Baron 3 mana 3/3. Whenever you cast a black spell from your hand, it connives. I think if you have 15 or more black mana symbols in your graveyard, when you attack with Baron Zemo, you can boast and you can exile up to you have to exile 15 mana symbols from your graveyard, but you can cast 3 of those spells for free, which is very good. Very good. And I tried a version with Unearth, and like the Unearth felt like it was in the right direction. And then we were playing yesterday's challenge, and we played against a like Mardu energy deck playing Chthonian Nightmare, and a synapse that had been stuck, I guess, just fired. I'm like, wait, why was I not playing Chthonian Nightmare in this deck? So we kind of abandoned our other backup deck, and we just built this on stream, and it looked really good in our first league, which we played yesterday. Only played the one. Nightmare was just like recurring Claw to just like continually discard your opponent's stuff. Recurring Eyetwitch to learn a lot, sacking and recurring Supplier to fill up the graveyard for Crypt of Agadeem, and Baron Helmut Zemo, which is awesome. Buying back your Baron if it dies, great. The Sephiroth was like a good way to kind of close out a game or two. For some reason, it felt a little worse than it has previously. I ended up cutting the second Sephiroth for the fourth Bowmaster. Bowmaster, a card I have not been playing in these Crypt of Agadeem decks. I have not been playing it, but with Nightmare, it's really important that you can like sack the spawn, get something back, sack Bowmaster, get something back, then recur the Bowmaster, so you can just keep putting a bunch of things in play. I think that's felt really important. So I think I just want to play the full 4. Not a bad card in the deck by any means either. And then I added the 4th Flare of Malice to the sideboard. But yeah, I'm also really liking the Street Wraiths again. I feel a little crazy because I've played a lot of Crypt of Agadeem brews in the past, and I always had 4 Street Wraiths, and then it felt like every time anybody played the deck, they cut the Street Wraiths, and then all of a sudden, Street Wraith is like the new tech, and so I don't know. So like I hadn't been playing it in the Archon builds, and I think it does make a little less sense in the Archon builds because you're just a bit more in on. Like, you want to see your full opening hand to know if you can combo. You're more of a combo deck. You're less of a generic good card deck where Wraiths are going to shine a bit more. Wraith is also really important for Claw, just where Claw is online faster early. It's important. And of course, it fuels your Crypt of Agadeem, can give you something early to buy back with Overlord. A bunch of black mana symbols in the yard for Zemo. Although, I'll say, in this deck, it's harder to attack with a Zemo than it is to have the 15 mana symbols. I really want to find room for some Emperor of Bones. Emperor Bones can give Zemo haste from the graveyard, which could be like a really powerful combo finish. It's a little bit redundant to the Nightmares to some extent, but like maybe it's better than the first Sephiroth, maybe it's better than the 4th Bowmaster, maybe it's better than like the 4th Troll of Khazad-dm. Maybe it's better than the 3rd Claw. Like we'll see. So like there's possibly some rooms for the Emperor of Bones. I would also love to play the second Cling to Dust. I feel like I always want the second Cling to Dust, and there's just not room. And then this is kind of maybe the problem with playing the Wraiths as well. But I'm really liking the idea of playing like all of these 3-ofs with the 4 Street Wraiths. Like the 3-ofs with the 4 Wraiths is like it feels like a good ratio where you're gonna. I can't articulate it too well. And I think very quietly like the speed that Lotus Field gave Amulet was like underrated. There's like a lot of I remember there's like a lot of board states where I'm like, well, I can beat about anything besides the Lotus Field here. And when they have it and stuff. Was this with Aftermath Analyst or something? I missed the era. Yeah, although they still play Aftermath Analyst. Am I familiar with the Mirror Pool copy Scapeshift lines? Or an Orb isn't really played anymore. Oh, I haven't seen the Mirror Pool copy Scapeshift stuff. Although I guess I'm a little confused. Like, why that's the plan. Like, it's like how, so you cast your Scapeshift and then you get Mirror Pool, I'm assuming. But how do you copy the Scapeshift with the Mirror Pool? Is there a way for you to get a land that recurs Scape Shift from the yard, because I don't really think that exists, but maybe it does. So main deck consign over there. Using Mirror Pool's text. This is a very unhelpful comment. So it copies instant or sorcery you control. Yeah. So that's my question. If you have to play Mirror Pool first, if you have to play Mirror Pool before Scape Shift, and you have to have 4 extra mana in play, this doesn't seem better to me, right? I don't understand why this is better, which is what I'm asking. Is why is this better? Oh, they kept a 1-lander? Maybe like a really good Goryo's hand. Is it 7? Well, it's 3 mana and tap Mirror Pool, which is 4 plus 4 from the Scape Shift. The loop isn't needed for 99% of board states, which is why. I guess that's not a great argument for playing it. Maybe. We play this loop because you don't need it for most board states. I guess I'll take the Trawler so that I could cast a Baron next turn. Does that make sense? I think that's fine. Or are you saying that the Zuran Orb loop isn't needed? Just make 5 Hasty Colossus instead. I mean, that does seem pretty good. The point is mostly that you Cultivator, then wave your hands a bunch, including more Cultivator triggers, and then at some point you can use Scape Shift plus Pool as a sack out. Okay, so you're drawing all of this off of the Cultivator Colossus. Makes sense. The Zerno Warrens are really bad, requires putting a bad card in your deck. Sure. Escape is a good card in its own. Will win you the game with Cultivator. Mirror Pool Loop is incidental. Okay. Thank you for the update, Titan Gamers. So I don't have any 1-drops in my yard to try to recur with this Overlord. Opponent says no lands, and you know what? That makes sense. I think I'm just going to play Nighmare out here. You know, it always shocked me when Titan players like would cut the Cultivator Colossus. Nomad with a 55 and KD with the 10. Hope you're doing well. All right, so our opponents games 1 and 2, they had it and they crushed us, and now our opponent has given us our karma. I don't know. I'm just not doing anything. I do think I want the 4th Flare against these Esper Gorios / Blink decks. I think either way I'll want it. If they're just Blink, the Ghost Vacuum is going to be good. Even if they're not Gorios. But I'm going to board as if they're Gorios because I don't think they're going to keep a 1-lander if they're not. I'm probably going to cut the Sephiroth. I think cutting Sephiroth is good. I think I want to keep an all 4 Bowmaster. They should have a good bit of card draw in the deck. We're on the draw. Maybe trimming a Klaw on the draw is fine. Maybe we can trim a Street Wraith. Nomad with the 55. KD with the 10. Waffle with the 65. Thank you guys for the resubs. I appreciate you. Glad you're still here. We'll definitely keep this on the draw against what we think is Gorios. It's a bit awkward to have like a 5-lander, but having Thoughtseize Cling is good. Having Tower is nice. So they take my Thoughtseize. And then they're acting like they're gonna surgical my Thoughtseize maybe. So if they have like a Faithful Mending here, I'm not sure if it's right to get really thirsty with the Bowmaster triggers and hope they don't have Gorios plus Atraxa, or if it's right to hold up the Cling to Dust. I don't know. Like they're already at 15 too. All right, probably let's listen to what the deck is giving us and play Ghost Vacuum. Question for you, Spike. I've been messing around with a Gruul Trudge build that tries to marry Eldrazi Ramp and the Fight Rigging Trudge for neck rigging a bit more. That tries to marry Amp Ramp and the Trudge Fight Rigging more. Thoughts on what? Well, you haven't told me what you're splashing red for. You've just told me what's already in the deck. What red card are you playing? That's the question I got for you. So I guess vacuuming up Troll's not all that valuable. And then I probably just want to leave it in the yard for like Crypt of Agadeem right now. So I might go Bowmaster this turn, hardcast Overlord next turn. Red would be for Kozilek's Return and Unholy Heat. The idea is playing more Ice Till and Fetches. So I think playing Ice Till and Fetch lands makes a lot less sense to me than playing a bunch of MDFCs. Like the MDFCs are so good with the fight rigging because they just give you so much consistency. I also don't think like so you're playing Kozilek's Return and Holy Heat. This is going to improve your Boros matchup, maybe your Prowess matchup a little bit. Those matchups are already really good. And so to me, it doesn't seem like something I'd be very interested in. Okay. I got the Crypt of Agadeem, so I think I'm just gonna make their frogs marginally worse with the vacuum here. All right, so I mean this is nice for the Crypt. Now Crypt is mana neutral. Take a look at their hand here. Well, maybe I could have cycled Troll first. They've got a Strict Serenade and a Solitude. Take the Solitude. These are just awful hands. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So we got the. Sorry, I should have taken the Serenade. I totally mentally meant to. That's what I get for trash talking. Okay, I'm gonna pass back. Still very ahead. I might vacuum up the Overlord. I don't know if I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna just pop the vacuum next turn. I guess we could also just hardcast Troll of Khazad-dm next turn instead of cycling it. Although that means that I would not be able to. I'd have to sack the bird token to cast the troll. Maybe I vacuum up the. No, I'm gonna vacuum up the Overlord. I think if I don't draw anything else, I just want to put an Overlord into play. It's not even like clear that my opponent is playing Goryo's. Like the Strict Serenade is more of a blink card. We sideboarded after my opponent did kind of nothing game one. I can play the Trawler untapped so that I have the ability. I have a tower up. I guess I'm not gonna really care that much about that. There's a Baron. It's probably the best thing here. They might be on the weird Felia Overlord Goryo's deck. People just put whatever in the Esper Shell. Yes, people. That's right. People do that. They graveyard a copy of Thoughtseize. No, I mean that was just something we did a long time ago. Yeah, they could be Esper Persist, that's true. Alright, Eyetwitch I think is best thing here. Any connivers in the chat? I think we just want to make them discard their 2 cards in hand here. All right. Well, as hard as those first 2 matches were, this one was that easy. And then Persist works with your Riddlers and your Solitude, which is also really nice. So I don't know. I never feel like I really, for sure, have figured out what's better. One day ago on. Ooh. Was this the player we lost to yesterday? We just played against a Linebreaker deck. I always love seeing Eldrazi aggro. Like, I genuinely really like playing against Eldrazi aggro. It makes you kind of wonder, like what if Wizards had just like what if the Eldrazi were an aggro deck instead of a value deck? I don't know. Which meta deck do you think is the most fun to you? I mean, I really like playing Trudge. Trudge is really fun. I guess I'll put this up. Okay, well, they are here now. Should have cycled the Wraith before playing land. They have Lab plus Chalice, but they don't have the ability to cast it. I don't have a 1-drop in my hand. I might need to take this Kozilek's Command because it's the best card. I mean, their hand is really good. My deck is pretty weak to Chalice at 1. I think I'll just take it. So this is bad if they drew an Imprintable, maybe, and they can cast Seer to take my Baron. But I do think Baron will be pretty good on this board, and so I think I'd like to set up to go Bowmaster into Phyrexian Tower, play Baron. They did draw the Imprintable. Original Winter was so aggressive, a Smasher, a 2-drop clone. Yeah, it was. And like, one thing is it's like, I think the gameplay of like Eldrazi versus Affinity versus Boros versus Prowess, like I think that those games would actually be like, there's like attacking and blocking and removal spells, like normal Magic the Gathering. I think that like Boros Synergy likely would be pretty good against some versions of this that would form, although it's hard to say without like actually seeing whatever this mystery version would be. So I think I'm just going to main phase the Bowmaster so that their command is a little bit worse. So we could triple block. Kind of bad against the command that we know is in the hand. Let's just go to 10. They pass with the command up. So I think I just played Nighmare and pass. I don't think I want to be trying to like flicker a Bowmaster when we know they can exile something with the command. Maybe a little awkward to play the Crypt of Agadeem because I know they're going to Myco Spawn next turn. Wonder what they could print to make Reality Smasher the aggro card of choice. I know it's kind of tough to like print new cards that make older underpowered cards like that are just like big creatures good again. That wouldn't just break other stuff like something that makes Eldrazi or Reality Smasher like really easy to cast is going to be probably more broken with other stuff than Reality Smasher. They make spawns, okay. Oh, sorry, I should have sacked the Bowmaster to the tower. Sorry about that. Although we are dead. Okay, so we're down a game. Let's bring in the Fulminators. I'm going to bring in the 4th Flare of Malice. I think that's probably better than the Force of Despairs against them. I think, can I cut all the Bowmasters? Bowmasters are pretty bad. I know they killed one. They're so teeny tiny. A +1/+1 Lord for Eldrazi. That does exist. I think my opponent's playing it. I think that card, that heralds the end. It's really weird that card is like it's a 2-mana Lord, and then it sort of rewards you for playing cheap Eldrazi, and then it discounts your 7 drops. So then it also rewards you for going big. It's a little odd. I know, but then of course you have to play some 7 drops because of Ugin's Lab. Okay, on the play. Can never really mulligan this hand. Opponents will multi 6 themselves. You could play Smasher and Black K Command Stompy. It'd be alright. I don't know. I think it's gotta suck. There's no chance. So I think I'd like to go... Maybe I don't want to sack the Supplier right now. Yeah, let's give ourselves the option. We'll just play Overgrown Tomb. Okay, I'm gonna take the Jailer. And then probably the Line Breaker. Linebreaker is pretty aggressive. Yeah. We'll try just not to leave our Nightmare out exposed to removal. They drew it that heralds the end. I drew a copy of Eyetwitch. So yeah, why don't we go Eyetwitch, sack Eyetwitch for Dai Li Indoctrination, and then we can take the Myco spawn here. And then I can play Supplier and another. Oh, sorry, I already put my land just for turn, but yeah, the Crypt should be good. Although I was hoping we'd mill a little bit more creatures than this and have the Crypt be online. I guess it's going to be okay. But I think we want the Supplier to be on play to just sack to the Nightmare next turn. So they have a Petrified Hamlet, which doesn't stop mana abilities, right? Yeah, so this doesn't affect me at all, I guess. They're trying to think of a name. I mean, they should probably name a fetch land. They named Spymasters. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a fine name. It's not in my deck, but totally reasonable card to name here. This is like the best draw. This is an insane top deck. So we're going to make 7 mana, play a Nightmare. I see an Overlord in the yard, so I should be able to go like Nightmare, buy back Eyetwitch. Yeah, or although maybe another Supplier is better. I think Eyetwitch is good too. And then with 3 mana left, I can go Nightmare, buy back Overlord, and I can find Ozai's Cruelty off of Eyetwitch, and I can just discard the last 2 cards in their hand and have an Overlord in play with them and just infinite mana for next turn. All of these cards are good, I guess. Probably just another Eyetwitch though. They discard both cards, a Sire and a Wastegate Battle Mage. We'll play another land that makes 11 mana and pass. Okay, so we're gonna go to game 3. These turns are just really, really addictive. I might want to play like 1 Force of Despair on the draw. They are an aggro build. We played this matchup yesterday and we got kind of run over. Yeah, I'll play 1 on the draw. Yeah, that was a fun turn. Doesn't Hobbit change Phyrexian Tower to not have a mana ability? Yeah, I guess I maybe need to read the notes. Someone told me that the new rule changes are about abilities that draw cards. So I wouldn't expect this to affect Tower. I guess I keep triple Thoughtseize on the draw against a mulligan. But maybe I misunderstood something. I just read a comment about it. I haven't actually seen it myself. This hand's really weak to Lab, Chalice, on 1. How's Nightmare been? I guess you didn't watch the last game. The last turn we played. But it's been really good. It's been really good. So they do have the Lab. Oh, thank goodness. That heralds the end. It's not Thoughtseize. Sorry, it's not Chalice. Let's take that one. Asked with the 24 months. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Will my opponent just play their 2/2 that is a 3/3 with it if that heralds the end? They do. Wise, I believe. So I'm down to 16. I think I am gonna Thoughtseize them and take another 5. Okay, they drew a land, which does punish me for this line. Week 2, like top deck line breaker and stuff. So I'm down to 9. They have a lantern. Will they sack the lantern? I think they probably won't. It's an interesting one. Do I impending the Overlord, I guess, is going to be a question. There's a Sephiroth in the yard, but you can't actually get Sephiroth back with Overlord. I could sack to Flare. I think I'll impending here. I think they may also not realize that I can't get the Sephiroth back. Okay, they do realize. I draw an Eyetwitch though, which is good. Life total pretty low. Block sack, that's the plan. They found a spell. Very good spell here. Just two Lord. So we'll block sack here. Gonna go down to 3. I guess I don't go down to 3 if they sack the Wastegate Battle Mage. Is that what they're gonna sack though? I don't know. They do sack the Battle Mage, which I guess makes sense because that's the one I blocked, but should I have blocked different? Weird game to lose, but I think we do just lose. Took so much damage. Third Thoughtseize not good against an opponent with no cards in their hand. So my opponent was last seen playing Boros Energy. We are the draw. We could sack Eyetwitch to draw a card. I think I'm gonna just greedily keep this hand. Opponent's on the mold of 6. Well, like, also, what is the reason? Like, maybe someone could link the release notes, but what was the reason that they made this change? So not playing Boros Energy anymore, so probably Domain Zoo variant, and Domain Zoo is typically pretty weak to Flare of Malice. Not that they have a ley line in play. Yeah, there is a BNR on Monday. Did not draw the land in the 3 looks. Selva, Heart of the Wilds. We can read that one. It's an EDH card, right? Whenever another creature enters, controller may draw a card whose power is greater than each other creature's power. Wait, this is no longer a mana ability? Tap, add X mana in any combination where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Agreed, 0% we get changes. So the people who say 0% we get changes, why are you so confident? Maybe I should play Bowmaster. Do we think they're going to loot? The Baron does seem pretty fragile here. I guess I don't want them to exile it, though. Fair, it's Watsy. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm going to try to take my biases aside. Like, Kozilek's Command, it did just have a Pro Tour that, like, it had the kind of Pro Tour cards get banned for. Like, this just happened. I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard to predict what Wizards of the Coast is going to do. But we did, I think, really objectively just had a Pro Tour where a card had like a ban worthy performance. But we've also had that before. We've had like there have been plenty of reasons to ban cards, and Wizards has done nothing. Recently. So I don't know, but I just don't know how anyone could be so confident. I've been thinking about Claw, and Soul Trader feels natural fit with Nighmare. Probably 4 is too many. I probably would play the 4 Thoughtseize over the first Dream Steel and Oil, although I had to look at who posted this to see. I would not splash Witherbloom Charm, probably. Witherbloom Charm is fine. It's not, I don't think it's so good to splash. Although it does, maybe it's just important to beat hate cards. It's fine, I guess, if that's the goal. So they did exile my Baron. Alright, well, let's play a Stitcher Supplier. Don't mill anything particularly interesting. I'm really splashing Fate into history. Played a lot of Soul Trader to get Shreked by Affinity. I think it makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to hold up Bowmaster here. And I like that the Eyetwitch can chump block the frog. Feels like we do probably need to find a Crypt of Agadeem to like be able to overpower this. Otherwise, like our steady stream of chump blockers are going to be not that effective. The trample on the Kavu is awkward as well. Okay, the other Selva, I saw someone linked it. Each player reveal. Oh, this was from the conspiracy. Each player reveals top card of the library for each downland card. Add a green, get a life. Sure. So I guess I'm just gonna take 5 and block like this. I think I'm gonna discard Klaw. I don't think Mono needs to be touched. I don't think it needs to be touched. I'll say this though. It's like, you know, we had an 18-month period where there were no changes to the modern ban list, and I'm of the opinion in that 18-month period, it was really obvious that something would have to change from modern at some point. Like that something from Boros Energy would have to be banned eventually, and things felt, I think, really stagnant in that time period because of how slow Wizards was to make changes. And I think that there could be a lesson to be learned there, is that is it good to just wait because things are fine, even though it feels like inevitably you need to do something? Or is it better to do you think the flares are maybe better if they're playing Frog Riddler? Is it better to just, you know, wait until your hand is forced, or is it better to be more proactive in your ban list management? And I'm not really saying one way or another, but I think this has been one issue even very recently. Maybe let's play 3 or only 2 Force of Despairs. We'll play a 3rd Bowmaster. Maybe I should play 4th if they're playing Riddler, because they probably are with Frog. Keep this on the play. Yeah, I think Deathrite Shaman unban would also be awesome. I think it's like there's actually, I think there's no modern deck on the front page of MTG. Okay, they mold a 4 and concede. I think there's no modern deck on the front page of MTG Goldfish that would play. Okay, the draw. Let's just cut the last Claw. I think there's no deck on the front page of MTG Goldfish that would play Deathrite Shaman. Let's double check that claim. Nope. The people who say Boros Synergy would splash for Deathrite Shaman, I love you. It's hilarious that you say that. No. Maybe Domain Zoo? Unclear Domain Zoo? No. So and another thing too is, it's like Jeskai has the most powerful 1-drops except for green, which has Slumbering Trudge, which is the strongest of all time. There's also something to be said for the fact that you can't play Shaman and Badgermole together very comfortably. Like, there's like that tension there. Would Yogg play it? Yogg would probably play it, although it does have tension with Badgermole if you're a Badgermole build. Goryo's might play Shaman. I would be kind of surprised if Goryo's played Shaman, but I guess it's on the table. Brood Scale will play Shaman. It's hard. They don't really have a good quantity of fetch lands for Shaman. I don't know that Shaman's better than Delighted Halfling and Brood Scale, and they don't play that usually. All right, so set up maybe to go Tower, Supplier, Crypt next turn. We'll see if they have another stub or something. A little bit scared of the Flash creature. Although, wow, their hand is really bad against mine. Blue Black Frog will play Shaman. I disagree that Blue Black Frog will play Shaman. I think Tamio is probably better as a 1-drop, and you don't even always play that. But I could be wrong. And honestly, if Blue Black Frog does play Shaman, that's probably just good for Modern. But I'm not convinced that it would be C play. Could be wrong. So they flip over a Crypt of Agadeem. Draw a Nighmare, which is, I guess, not amazing against the Binding. They could respond to the energy trigger and exile it. I don't mill any creatures, although I do mill a Cling to Dust there. Okay, so now I've got 4 mana, which I think I'm just going to use to cast Boggart Trawler and cycle Troll of Khazad-dm. Yeah, Shaman is a good card. It is like the most safe. It maybe is the most safe card on the ban list to unban. like of like the impact it can have. Is that a crazy thing to say? I guess that is a crazy thing to say. It's probably Birthing Pod, but like Birthing Pod needs to come off the ban list because it's so weak. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to like for more mana dorks to see play in the format. They graveyard a practiced offense here. Then they dash Ragavan again. I think a flashback practiced offense. Then they binding my Trawler. I think hard to see that as anything but a win. They flip over another Crypt of Agadeem. They're surgicling them slowly with Ragavan. It would be really nice to hold up Bowmaster for Ragavan. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna really have that luxury. I think I want to get my draw 2 going here. Seems so good against their hand of like just nothing but bindings. I guess I could also just cast Bowmaster main phase maybe. Yeah, that seems fine here. Life total getting a little low. Maybe punish for getting the Overgrown Tomb. We do have a Cling to Dust to gain some life if we need it, I guess. Am I crazy for thinking Oko could be unbanned? I don't think that they should unban Oko. But Oko would not break Modern, and I don't know how good it would be, but I don't think it would be a good unban. It's a poorly designed card. But yeah, it doesn't really see any play in Timeless, and it is Oko is a card that was like always better in Standard, Pioneer, Legacy than it was in Modern. That being said, I don't think it would be a good unban. So I got 7 Crypt mana. I think we should probably start with the Eyetwitch. Maybe make them discard 2 cards. Maybe kill the binding. Maybe Dai Li Indoctrination is better than making them discard 2. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Indoctrination so we can have a little bit of a better idea what we're up against. We can take, at the very least, we can take the binding, if that's all they have, and then my Baron can live. Did Oko get banned after Mono Red Burn Splash? We can play Oko. So there was like a 5-0 list that splashed Oko. Like that is a thing that happened, but like that wasn't like the best way to build Burn. In fact, Burn was unplayable because of Oko. Like that wasn't like. That wasn't like a modern deck in the sense that some people were seriously playing it and it was winning tournaments or anything. Definitely going to keep Force of Despair here. So we have run them out of... Do this main phase to not lose my floating mana. We have run them out of bindings, finally. I think I'm just going to return the Stitcher Supplier, just like fill up the yard a little bit more for Crypt and for... okay, then just concede. Great. I have a hard time mulliganing this hand. We have double cantrip. I think the first Jet Medallion is probably collecting these Claw Nightmare builds. I don't think it makes that much sense, because Crypt of Agadeem is just... That gives you the mana for like crazy Nightmare turns. I don't know that there's like a good argument for also playing Jet Medallion. It's just kind of a slow setup card when your setup cards are already setting up your Crypt for big mana. Okay, not only do we draw a land, but we draw the best land possible. You always love to see that. I think I'm going to hold up Bowmaster so I can activate the Crypt next turn. My opponent also may... I guess they're never going to binding this. Interesting to run into Domain Zoo twice in a row. So now we have 5 black creatures in the graveyard. It's pretty good. Probably gonna sack the Bowmaster to Tower for more mana. Let's go ahead and attack first. I probably should Thoughtseize before I play the Baron. Although I would love if they played this guy. Nice. This lets me Baron first. So I'm going to have 6 mana with a land drop available. So let's go sacrifice 6 mana, play Baron. Getting it out of bolt range is really nice on these spots. It's turn 3, by the way. We'll get a Connive. Let's discard this redundant tower first. They have 2 lightning bolts and they have a Scion of Draco. Well, should be relatively safe to do this. I can kill the Scion with the Baron next turn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the Supplier. It's just so good with the Crypt for next turn. Okay, and it's a bit odd that they didn't cast the Scion of Draco last turn, by the way. Should I don't know how suspicious of that we should be. That they played around Flare of Malice. So I think just main phase we want to go mill 3, connive, discard another tower. They were setting up for Croak. Oh, yeah, so I guess they were setting up for Croak, so that's true. I'll cling to dust at least once. I just have always a hard time not slamming the Trawler in those kind of spots. Okay, Claw's a great pickup. Got my Baron to 5/5. They didn't binding my Baron? They didn't read the card. So let's exile Flare of Malice, Baron. That's going to be 8 mana's value. 10, 12, or I guess I should go 12, 13, 14, 15, and then I'm going to cast the Nightmare. Oh, I need one more. So going to cast Flare of Malice, going to cast Overlord of the Balemurk, and going to cast Chthonian Nightmare. What, you never played against Baron Helmut Zemo before, opponent? I think I just get Eyetwitch. Dude, I can Baron again next turn. Okay, so we're up a game against Domain Zoo. Did we win game 1 against them last time? I think we lost game 1 last match. So I'm going to bring in 1 Flare, 2 Force, and I think I'm just going to go down the Claws again. I think I like that on the draw. No Claws on the draw. Easy to remember. I guess if my opponent's playing this opponent's playing Doorkeeper Thrall. And so Doorkeeper Thrall Kroxa is maybe not as weak to Bowmaster as the Frog Riddler version is we just played against. Does that change the sideboarding? I mean, Claw is not very good against Doorkeeper Thrall, so I don't think that necessarily should come in. Yeah, I think we'll just try this again. Well, I'm going to mulligan this. Opponent's unable to 6 as well. Not a great hand. Probably going to have to be a keep on a multi 6. Put back the second Overlord. They have a Ragavan. We're on the draw this game, so we don't have the Bowmaster available to deal with the Ragavan at the moment. Although maybe they'll go, like, play a Scion, we'll go Bowmaster, kill Ragavan, Flare of Malice, the Scion, and catch back up. They flip over a Sephiroth, which they could play here. Wouldn't it be crazy? So they play a Kavu. So let's play around Doorkeeper Thrall by main phasing the Bowmaster. And I guess I want to Flare of Malice now. Like, I don't want them to exile cards from my graveyard, which is probably what they're going to pick. And if they have a stub, I want them to spin the treasure token, right? I think that makes sense. They got 3 cards left in their hand. One of them, or sorry, they play a Mountain. They dash Ragavan, and then they bolt my Orc. So we got a nice 2-for-1. Off the Orc, they hit me with Ragavan again. I'm down to 14 life points. They flip over Bowmaster, and they just don't cast it. Okay. Let's Impending Overlord. We got a lot of 1-drops we could find to deal with the Ragavan here, and if we miss, we could grab Bowmaster and go Bowmaster Nightmare next turn. We do find a Supplier. We mill 2 Crypt of Agadeem. So I'm going to prioritize, I guess, getting my Overgrown Tomb. Getting my Overgrown Tomb off the Supplier. And this way, or off the Troll, and this way I could get back the Eyetwitch, and then I could get the regrowth effect for my Crypt of Agadeem. My opponent all in on the Ragavan here. That's their hand is that and a mystery card. They cast Ragavan, not dash, in a shocking display of self-control, maybe. Do I still feel like I need the Overgrown Tomb? I'm going to be taking 2 down to 12. Then 4 down to 8. I put myself at a really weak multiple here. Splashing green for lessons only, yes. I think I'm still getting it. So they got 1 card in their hand, freshly drawn. It was one of the best in Lightning Bolt. So maybe really punished for getting the Overgrown Tomb. That's the 3rd bolt, 2nd bolt. They exile my Baron, which is probably worse than exiling the Bowmaster here. Got a lot of good top decks. They flip over a Flare of Malice, which would have been mediocre top deck, I guess. Dead. Game 3. Could have maybe just played Nighmare that last turn. I don't know. On the play for game 3, I play a Klaw over Second Force. Let's try that. Our Basim, Bilbo, and Loki, best friends. It's hard to play infinite of these, especially infinite of these plus enablers, but they at very least seem like they get along. Great hand. Whenever you have these 3 cards, Crypt, Tower, Supplier, you just know you're going to get to do something crazy. Or you hope you're going to get to do something crazy. No Leyline again. Hopefully we see a monkey. I want to see a monkey. Take me to the zoo. Alright, so play around the Doorkeeper Thrall again. I think I'm going to play Bog this turn, so maybe it doesn't look like my next turn is going to be as strong, and so maybe they would wait a turn on Rest in Peace if they had a Rest in Peace. Kind of minor. They play a Godless Shrine. Okay, so let's go play Phyrexian Tower. Cast Stitcher Supplier. They're going to respond with Doorkeeper Thrall. Maybe, I guess attacking first is maybe a little better. So I'm going to sacrifice the Bowmaster, kill the Doorkeeper Thrall. Supplier ETB. I'll just attack now. I might end up sacking the Orc this turn. Right now, I only have 2 black creatures in my yard. Now I have 6. Great. And I found an Overlord, so we're going to go play Chthonian Nightmare, get back the Bowmaster, sack the Orc army. Play Nightmare, 2 energy, get back Stitcher Supplier, sack Orc army, mill 3. Then sack the Supplier again, get back Overlord of the Balemurk. We're going to have a lot of cards in the graveyard here. Claw seems fine. Eyetwitch is probably the best bet. Got 8 cards in the graveyard. Can get some more, maybe just by attacking. Nightmare is so good in this deck. 5 cards in their hand. They have a binding. That's okay. Now 4 more cards. Kabu, that is also A-okay. Flare of Malice is good. Alright, so I think I'm going to go Eyetwitch, sack Eyetwitch, grab my draw 2, make 9 mana, play Baron. I might not go for the draw 2 this turn. I don't have another Overlord in the yard. I mean, getting the draw 2 online seems really hard to lose. Getting the Baron out of bolt range is nice. Just discard Swamp. I don't think I need this to be a 5/5. Then I'm going to go get back Supplier. And then Flare. Main phase because of Stub. I guess we can have away redundant Nightmare. We got 14 creatures in the yard for Crypt of Agadeem next turn. We've got a Baron that survives a bolt, ready to cast 3 spells for free. My opponent's got 3 cards in their hand. They're fetching pretty fast. In these lines, you kind of want to kill Bowmaster early so you're ready to get to go body positive. Have I not been doing that? Like I've been doing that. Maybe another binding. Doesn't look like they've got another binding. Let's draw 2 cards. Let's go to combat. Oh, maybe I could have made my mana first. Yeah, we're gonna win. Okay, so I'm gonna exile Flare of Malice. I have 4 Flare of Malices in the yard. I'm gonna just exile a bunch of non-creature spells here. So I need to exile 8 more. I think I'm down to cast a Thoughtseize. Maybe a Thoughtseize Troll of Khazad-dm. And then I want to leave 1 Flare of Malice in the yard, but I can exile a couple for just non-creature mana value. And then I get rid of like a Street Wraith and like a Trawler. And then let's cast the Flare of Malice, cast Troll of Khazad-dm, cast Thoughtseize. All right. Let's get a 4-1 prediction. Such a fun deck. I really want to play the backup deck because we've got maintenance tomorrow. I guess it's okay if we get to it Thursday. I agree with 4th Baron. You can connive it away. Yeah. It feels like we can go down to 2 Claw. I still want to get an Emperor of Bones in there though, but I don't know that there's room. Yeah, people have been talking about the rule changes. It doesn't seem like it's going to affect the modern format at all, basically. Okay, so they exile Devourer of Destiny to their Gemstone Caverns. They were last seen playing Through the Breach. They were playing at Gemstone Caverns. They were playing Devourer. So if they are playing that, Flare of Malice is like the best card in the format against Through the Breach. Yeah, I'm not sure how we can get the Emperor into the deck. I don't think it feels like we can cut a land. Archon's not really playable. So you can play a version that's in on Persist Archon, but then I think when you do that, you move away from this version and you do that instead of doing the Baron stuff. Okay, they are playing that. They play a Talisman. I think I hold up the Bowmaster. Zemo with the 20 months. Welcome back. Yeah, I really think that Nighmare seems really good at recurring Overlord. And so this is definitely a nice thing about, like, one problem when we were playing the deck was like you could persist Overlord, but you couldn't you could persist Overlord, but you couldn't unearth it. And so like that felt weird when we moved to the unearth version. But Nighmare is pretty good at getting back Overlord pretty fast. Less troll. I feel like I've been liking the trolls a lot. The trolls give you like also like consistent enough access to the green lessons. That 18. Cycle a Wraith. Okay, probably want to cast the Thoughtseize this turn. So I imagine we will sacrifice a Supplier first, see if there's something. Maybe we'll end up double Nightmaring and if we mill like an Overlord. We milled an Eyetwitch, which I do think I want to get back. But not so bad that I need to like do anything right now. They have like a K command for my Orc army, maybe? If they do that, I just get the Orc army right back. Because it just triggers the Bowmaster. Worst K command I've seen in a long time, and it still cycles. I think I want to take Spell Pierce, probably. No, they're just a mana away from the Devourer. We can... Playground Spellpiercer is going to be really annoying. Yeah, it's just so good against my Nightmare hand here. So maybe I don't want to expose the Eyetwitch to the Exile. I think that makes sense. Did you ever try Nightmare Oculus? Yeah, towards the beginning of MH3. Back when I was like really Satoru headed, because that card Satoru used to be pretty good in Modern, especially when Grief was legal. Now I want to just kind of ignore the Devourer because I know they have Through the Breach in their hand, so I want to save the Flare of Malice for top deck Emrakul or Ulamog. So I shouldn't have a big problem just having a steady stream of chump blockers here. Zemo's good. Yeah, let's go sack Bowmaster, play Zemo. Play Trawler down to 13, cast Nightmare. Connive Overlord away. Now I'm going to be 1 energy shy of getting back the Overlord next turn. I can get it back next turn. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana symbols in the yard. Looks like maybe they drew a second Devourer of Destiny. So if they did that, I probably need to cash in the Flare. Maybe it's a Null Drifter, though. Maybe it's a K command. Okay, it's just a Null Drifter. So if I deal 2 damage here, I think I'm just going to target them. I don't really care about the attack. Although, I think I'm somewhat likely to find lethal if I go like block, sack, flare, flare again. Yeah, I think I just find lethal enough that I want to do this. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I just need 1 more mana symbol here. So we can go cast Nightmare, get the last mana we need. Mana symbols. Well, I guess this is only... Okay, I could just Nightmare back Bowmaster. So yeah, we win. So let's go cycle the Wraith. Go to combat. Boast. So I want to cast Flare of Malice. I guess I'll cast a Bowmaster. I want to cast an Overlord, and then we need... Doesn't really matter. Okay, so gonna cast Flare of Malice. Gonna cast Bowmaster. This is just lethal by itself. Nice. So we're up a game against Through the Breach. Let's bring in Fulminator Mages. Let's bring in the extra Flare. I mean, Force of Despair is awesome against Through the Breach. It doesn't seem like I should have 0 copies of that. I'm going to cut the Sephiroth. They're a Null Drifter deck. They're going to bring in Torpor Orb, which is kind of annoying. So maybe I cut the Claws against the Torpor Orbs. I brought in other 3-drops anyways, I guess. Not sure it was Breach. It was for sure Through the Breach. We saw Through the Breach in their hand. I'm going to play... I got to play at least 1. They can play around it. Yeah, but they're not gonna. They're not gonna play around Force of Despair. It doesn't make that much sense, right? I can also cast it, maybe. I'm just gonna play 1. I think 4 flares, 1 force should be... There's a new 2-blue creature in homage, draws a card activate ability. It could be interesting with Elf. It is an Elf. Yeah, I mean, I talked about the card in the YouTube video that's Elrond. I want to keep this. Just saying this one. Yeah, I know. I understand. It just seems really unlikely that they would play around it, I guess. Okay, so I think I'm going to go up a Baron, down a Claw for the next league. But where's my 4th Bowmaster? Is this the wrong list? I think that's the wrong list. How do I not have a legal deck list here? I'm in the league with it right now. Yeah, I've been liking Force of Despair a lot. I think it's gotten pretty good over the last year. I don't know if we're going to make any other change, but I definitely want the 4th Baron. Alright, let's cycle a Wraith. This is the kind of hand where I would love to have more Force of Despairs in my deck. Sir, I require at least 1 airship in mono black. We don't have any fetch lands. I do miss airship. The format was so good for airship when we first started, and then it got just immediately so much worse. It's actually kind of ridiculous how much worse airship got in the metagame post us starting to play it versus how good it was at first. It's not fair. A 3rd double land with a 3rd imprint. They imprint a Null Drifter, which would be a really good card in their hand here. Maybe they're going to hardcast a Null Drifter next turn. If they hardcast a Null Drifter next turn, it's kind of good for me because I could Bowmaster to ping both of my Eyetwitches. I don't get a ETB trigger, but I do get a you draw a card trigger. Maybe if they K command, I can also Bowmaster here. Would the sack forces be broken if you get sack tokens? It'd be a lot better. Search the Moxfield, couldn't find any decks with both Moxfield and Oculus. They're in there. I mean, it's been a long time. I think if you search Satoro, again, I even if we can find them, I wouldn't really recommend. Oh, I wasn't playing Oculus in this build, or maybe Oculus wasn't printed back here. Oh, you know what? Oculus didn't exist. I think you're right. Oculus just did not exist back when. And I was playing Unearth in a shell here. Okay, you're right. Okay, so kill our own Eyetwitch. I think I'm gonna just discard Trawler here, try to fuel these Crypt of Agadeems. Maybe, but I guess maybe better to discard Overlord and try to buy it back with Nighmare. Okay, that's an interesting pickup. So hopefully they don't have Through the Breach, big thing, as I will. They play a Ghost Vacuum, okay. Not too scary. They have another K command, I guess. They did keep 2 cards on the top, so I'm going to assume they have another K command. Okay, so I'm going to bait the Ghost Vacuum, stopping me from drawing a card so that I can potentially Crypt this turn. So now I found a Street Wraith, which lets me get a mana advantage off the Crypt that I was previously unable to. Maybe it's better to play Fulminator. Although I guess I could discard Fulminator and still Nightmare it back. Maybe, although I'm trying to get back the Overlord. I'm gonna connive away. Fulminator, I think. Well, maybe that exposes. Maybe that exposes it too much. Because they don't take the bait, which means we will just play a Nightmare and pass. We also have a Phyrexian Tower, which is pretty nice. Although I kind of expect we're going to get K commanded again. Yeah, no matter what, if they activate the Return on Lab and you kill it, it dies. Even if you kill it in response to the ability, it still comes back. I think you got Sephiroth for Emperor and Klaw for Zemo 4. Yeah, I think the Sephiroth hasn't been that good. I think probably the first Emperor is better than the first Sephiroth. Yeah, I've been trying to get the Emperor in as well, but it's just like it's felt kind of outside. But yeah, the Sephiroth has been like really whatever. Do I want to kill my own Eyetwitch? I think no. I might be able to. This is maybe ambitious, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I sack these 6 permanents. I'm not doing like the worst ever. Oh, I guess I'd have to chump block with the Eyetwitch. I don't know. Although my opponent's just in like hardcast Emrakul territory. Do you remember when we had a chatter who called Kozak's command a role player? And the role it plays is doing everything all the time. Looks like they're one short of Emrakul, although they could still play land for turn. Okay, good. Another Kozilek's command has been put on the stack here. Yeah, just the role of being the best card of the format. Does the Hobbit set have new commander crap? I mean, if that's what there's commander cards of the set, sure. Is that what you're looking for? Fulminator used to be a primetime modern card. Now I'm surprised to see it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, I think, in this deck specifically. Okay, I guess I should just target them since they're gonna sack. They know to sack the spawn. Alright, so they've assembled through the breach. Through the breach Emrakul. So I'm gonna sack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to chump block the Emrakul. Discard the Fulminator, I think. I mean, I guess it's a little silly to keep playing here because they have kept so many cards on top. Okay, let's just go to game 3. Sure. Yeah, they brought in the orbs, so again, I like cutting the claws. Yeah, 15-man Emrakul does not have trample. Shout out flying squirrel tokens. I don't know why squirrel tokens are always the example people give. I think this is a good matchup to just cast Barret on turn 2. Would Key to the side door be synergistic with Squee looping the card draw? I mean, is it synergistic? If that's your question, the answer is yeah, buddy. There's some synergy there. Is it a good thing to do in Modern? I don't know. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These go to exile, so that I don't think this actually. I don't think Cage actually stops anything here. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, if we find any black card, I think we can cast off Zemo. Okay, I don't care about that. Tower. Come on, any black card. Let's go. Oh, a good one, too. They have a second Cage. I guess I'm taking the stock up. Yeah, this should work. I agree. So I want to cast Fulminator Mage, I want to cast Overlord, and I want to cast Troll of Khazad-dm. Then I got 10 more mana value to go. I will cast Fulminator Mage. I will cast Overlord of the Balemurk. I will cast Troll of Khazad-dm. Guess I could have sacked the Fulminator first. Nice Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, this is turn 3. I tell you, Zemo is really easy. It's harder to attack with Zemo than it is to have 15 mana value worth of cards. Order, yeah, I think we're gonna be okay on the ordering there. Okay, so we 4-1 this league. I think we have to do one more. I think the deck just needs a little bit more attention. Oh yeah, I forget that it's token copies. You're right. I keep forgetting they're token copies. It doesn't really make much sense. I don't actually understand why that's the case. Maybe there's like some combos they're trying to prevent. Okay, so we're gonna go down 1 Claw, 1 Sephiroth for the 4th Baron and the 1st Emperor of Bones. We're gonna run it back.